Welcome to WinternomicsTV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to WinternomicsTV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to WinternomicsTV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just
Welcome to the party. 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 Welcome to the party.
Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches.
What up, what up, what up? What it do? Happy Friday, motherfuckers. After a tumultuous week, I got feedback from somebody on Cyber right now. So, mute your TV if you're in there. Yeah, we had a pretty interesting week, sentiment wise in the marketplace. We obviously noted our Trolex emotional shockwave, which was sitting on boats and coke. Told you guys we're a little extended, and we were at an interesting triple top from May in the S&P. All things that we thought were worth paying attention to. If you guys pay attention to this, right, we actually forecasted this. If you guys remember in the last show, actually a show earlier, right, the possibility of a trajectory change in the upward trending angle of S&P, and we gave you this forecast right from the top, that we likely could counterstructure around and head towards a lower angle and rotate timeframes. So far, so good. He's doing exactly what we forecasted, right? So if any of you guys kept up with this, you guys should have been out of harm's way. And we also gave you a theme that we hoped would, make sure you understood that there was danger in the market, which was in helter skelter. I tweeted a lot. Let me find that. Where the hell did I put it? Boy, I tweet a lot. Alright, so if you guys saw this, right, what does he remind you of? You guys in this is I'm showing the helter skelter picture. So for you guys in Web3, you can totally respond to this. I'm also getting feedback from one of you still.
Yeah, Perky, you need to mute the show or your mic.
Yep, please. Alright, there you go. Alright, so you see this theme, you see this pop up, we give you a description. Everyone loves to preach what they that we are all one bullshit, but it sounds good on paper, but the war of the race is the only real truth of nature and markets, right? We're all fucking just, different tribes chasing each other around. But when you see this fucking image, right, what does that give you an idea for sentiments in the market?
Down.
Red. Jet red, fucking devil, fucking going to hell, right? So always remember, right, there is a levels to this shit, and we try to create artistic themes to help you actually with the idea of the day, along with making points that are to help you think about some of the sentiments that are going on. This was to kind of let you know that it was a tumultuous situation in the marketplace. I'm sure all of you have seen the situation with Artifact, and we're not letting that die. You're not going to shit on the biggest pool of your investors publicly if you fucking don't understand who actually fucking makes your floors. You will. And I guess that point has made it through this morning, since Benito contacted me this morning and said he's going to look into see how he can kind of reunite the Artifact community, given the fucking rift at this point is not something they can sweep under the rug, and they know it. At the end of the day, he also acknowledged that Ferroliquid was fucking wrong, and but then tried to double down on the fact that we highlighted it so much. That's why she didn't apologize for what she's done, and created the rift herself. So now I at least have the acknowledgement from the founder of Artifact, which means for all the rest of the Clonex, they're talking about it as shut the fuck up. Just in case you get that last part, shut the fuck up. That's why I don't talk to the fucking plebs. I just talk to the head of your shit, because none of you know what the fuck's going on. And at the end of the day, there is a toxic problem inside of Artifact. And if it isn't addressed, you're going to have a hell of a time creating demand for the products that we all are getting, while everyone is a complete piece of shit. So, that is something that had to be highlighted for the value of the brand, right? At the end of the day, we have some silly people out here. What did this one guy say? He tried to suggest that we're a bot accounts. Can you guys imagine? I can't even find it. It was some retard. Can you imagine that if I fucking just had all these clones myself and was only talking to myself on Twitter with a free show, how fucking insane I'd have to be, and how talented I'd have to be to run all these characters simultaneously, right? But at the end of the day, we are actually the investors of Artifact that are being talked shit to publicly by founders and members of Artifact. I can't think of a worse business move in all of fucking history than that shit you see going on out there. But it is sentiment things, right? And that's why we told you guys you got to pay attention to the troll-like shockwaves, right? I think we drew them on this guy. Let's see. Where do we draw these things? Not that one. Must be up here. All right, this is the Trolex shockwaves. So, whoops. And whenever you see Trolex show up, highly emotional markets, we pay attention, right? That's why we mark pocket locations and shockwaves with trolls. And then we gave you a nice big red sentiment to keep you aware of, like dangers afoot, right? Key level, high emotions, and then we have our projection for the SPY's rotation. So hopefully you guys had enough information to, pay attention and stay clear of this really ridiculously steep trajectory. That check the triple top over here we warned you about. So this is kind of what you're watching. How many of you guys were able to use the intel to navigate this and kind of keep yourselves out of trouble? Go ahead and let me see some comments when I get back over there. What is going on here? All right, so this guy right now, right, that was the level we marked on this chart, right? This level right here, and that level was actually a key level to pay attention to on that triple top. That triple top was, this chart has a lot of levels, but this is the Nomics level. So if you guys remember, this is the chart with all the levels on it. We just don't use this much because it's really convoluted. But Nomics, the sentiment read from October 5th last year in the VIX that you guys remember happened with that dude in the bar, right, is a key level emotionally, just like Ragnarok. And we told you to pay attention to between Ragnarok and Nomics. Now a chance to fucking counter trade back towards Ragnarok is possible, and it is a great triple top also back in May. So, back here in May. So this is a good technical level. So hopefully you guys put together, the theme of the show and some of the intel we gave you and the emotions of the markets to kind of like back up from this if you had amazing runs and not sit in here, zoomed into the chart until you eat the counter wave. If you did navigate that, by all means, definitely say some things and let us know. For you guys that are newer to the show, right, that is a theme of the show, is the art of markets, right? That is part of what we do. So if you've never really looked at this, right, these themes and these arts are to kind of give you insights into the mood and possible directionality of the market, which we add greater context to throughout the show. So the last time you ever saw a jet red motherfucker, right, Armageddon was next. You ever see the devil or something that says fucking, as the name implies, from hell and back? It's definitely not a bullish fucking kind of theme. You know what I'm saying? You see anything that looks like fucking Satan? I mean, and none of you are necessarily the most religious people in the world in this particular religion, but what direction do we normally consider hell, right? Like down there, right? It's a downward indication. I don't know how much clearer I can make that. Like river Styx, like anything to do with dead fucking people is not bullish. Everybody gets that? Web3, you guys get that?
Pretty fucking clear.
I would think, right? If it's got Satan in it or anything to do with fucking Satan, it's not bullish. I don't think I should have to explain that, but I'm going to explain it. So if you never got it before, fuck sakes back, man. Ooh. But yeah, not bullish. How do you get here? 138. Cooked a couple of people probably on Twitter with what they saw going on out there. But yeah, after all the trolling, stopped this morning, at least Benito had the decency to reach out to our creator Cusp, who had his shit stolen and reposted without his credit. And one of the most important things to a creator is you get credit for the shit you make. And it's kind of an insane thing that wasn't received a little bit better when the point was brought up. So I'll actually show you guys that. So this actually started, to bring this point up when you're a creator and you have a competitive creator economy like this, it's only fair that a creator makes the point that, hey, you actually posted my shit in your stories, and somehow with all the other stories posted, you left my handle off of my story only, and you did it multiple times. It's a fair point to make the point, right? This is fucking a phenomenal fucking outfit for a fucking clone in 3D. No one's even seen something like this. This translucent kind of almost nude body skin. It's fucking fire. It's definitely worth noting that enough they picked up and presented. Absolutely, credit the creator who came up with this idea. The light footprints in the sands is dope. And this is the comment we got back. Stop the drama. Look, I can tell you, I've talked to a lot of heads of organizations and the CEOs of fucking 9-digit and fucking 10-digit companies don't talk like that. You're the fucking founder. If you want to know where the trolley behavior in the entire culture is coming from, it's coming from the top down. That is not an appropriate way to respond as a leader of your fucking brand. And, you know, at the end of the day, the sentiments in the market, a lot of people are pretty cooked. Prices are fucking down, you know, and ease prices, and it's showing, you know. So at the end of the day, we own enough clones for you to fucking realize we are a significant force in Artifact and CloneX, and our vision and our point of view is going to be fielded. You aren't going to show the people who make your fucking floors, motherfucker. Your brand is nothing without people like us. It isn't the peasant holding a dollar fucking pigeon that fucking makes your brand work, bitch. It's the silent investors, right? I'm just not one of the silent investors. I'm the point of value of this fucking system, and we are the value in fucking CloneX. If anyone didn't know it, you know it now. So I won't show you his DMs, but hopefully this is about to fucking stop, and this shitty ass thing that's going to damage the entire fucking chemistry of Artifact that will allow us to sell our products at very fucking good prices will be recognized as a real legitimate danger to the business organization. At the end of the day, taking months on end to get this point through while the fucking entire thing tears itself apart, it's a fucking danger signal for fucking the leadership of the fucking brand, not recognizing the scope of the situation before it gets fucking all encompassing. Matrix dodged the devil eggplant. What did you what does the devil eggplant stand for? I was able to keep and save the capital. What in the world does the devil eggplant stand for? You dodged the fucking Kathy Big Penis? Straight up pars, well, awesome to see that, man. Wait, I keep saying it wrong. Parzival. Yeah, I know, I keep saying that real bad. I'm hiding. Let me be. Parzival. My fault. Corrected. Shout out to fucking Parzival for fucking saving the stream itself, right? So respect, man. What did it say? Oh yeah, so I asked the question. I need to see what you guys said to that. I shorted while listening to Michael Burry's playlist. Pretty funny. Issues are always top down, yeah. The culture is being broadcast from the top down. Definitely something to fucking note, right? Because it's part of the valuation of that fucking entire ecosystem as a brand out there. Part of the, the demand prospect is that people want to be inside of an exclusive community. Well, I don't know if people who are born like, the last 25 years don't understand if you type everything fucking out publicly, you can't really fucking like manipulate crowd perception. And when you have this like shit show of fucking trolling going on back and forth, written out in text and forever fucking like in the public domain, you have a serious problem with the people that are prospective buyers fucking want to be anywhere near this shit. So it's 100% about fucking manage the brand's perception. And we know that what we see and perceive is integral to the way we value a thing. I can't imagine that you'd sit here and fucking like actually allow this kind of shit show to go on for fucking 2 months publicly and do nothing about it because you're cool with like 5 people out of 9,000 of your holders. That's insanely myopic. Yeah, Ferocious's event was simply the best crypto event I've been to ever since being in crypto since 2013. That was the most positive, fucking inclusive type of event I've ever seen. No one else has matched that. You go into a bunch of cliquey assholes, a bunch of broke peasants, trying to act like they have fucking clout because they own some fucking bullshit for the first time in life. It's the most beta soy protein thing ever. It's weak. Anyways, we are at 8:42, so I actually got better timing getting the artwork done in this one. Let me see if you guys got me any war stories to go through today. Let's see. We haven't been getting a war story section where we should, so we need to get that. Alright, I think I got 2. So war stories. We got John from Disciples. What am I seeing? This is... Where is it? Alright. This is... Last night, the peaceful yet badass warriors of CloneX Classic and PodX Classic saddled up to bring justice to the metaverse. Benito and the passive aggressive stood tall in their path, but the gang shorted ETH and everyone lived happily ever after, for now. What bullshittery will the trolls come up with next time? Stay tuned for the next thrilling installment. I love it. Thanks so much, Kaz. The John from John from a few years ago would have been crazy flustered by something like this, much less been able to capitalize on it. Oh, oh, he trolled you directly. How nice. Your passive enablement of toxicity in the artifact community has removed benefit of the doubt when 2 times in a row cuts were posted without credit. Once might be human behavior, twice reeks of deliberation. Pretending otherwise doesn't help. Okay, Sherlock. It really doesn't look like a conversation with the leader of a fucking, $100+ million brand or even $1 billion brand. But amazing sentiment read on that bear flag, right? Because that's completely emotional response. And that's an awesome translation of our sentiment logic into price. Great job, bud. I like that. That's a crazy ass war story. I love it. ETH rotation. Whew. Wow, what you got going on over here? This is Jester. Look at that. 2 Nebulans. I love it. 2 really good rotations on ETH, and happy about how I manage these. No chop in between. Just they're at the right place at the right time. Things that help me: small watch list, zoom out, participate in chat rather than just read. It's really a world of difference from just reading the chat, and you won't know it till you do it. I'm trying to tell you, this made me much more in tune with the markets and the show and gave me much more confidence to take plays and also sit on hands when needed, 100%. Squiggles, lots of them. Thanks, Kaz and Vicky, for doing what you do. Let's keep it going. See what we got here. Awesome pump rotation on this flag here for like 1700s out. 8 Rs. It's where cuts were, cut half at 8 Rs. I think I'm reading this right? Does that say half at 8 Rs? Maybe I'm misreading that. But I know it's 8 Rs. Oh, 7 Rs full. Got it. Okay, so cut up a little higher than out, and then another rotation. Awesome. Then got out here, and then partial, and then the rest. It's as good as it gets. Good shit, dude. It took me a second to figure out what was going on there. I like the color scheme too. I approve this message. So those are good war stories. Those are war stories from 2 vets in house too. So that's Nebula 3 and a Nebula 1, trader, and they've obviously learned a little more advanced things to apply sentiment reading like that to price. But they're giving a great explanation of what they're doing and stuff. So hope you guys take some good pointers from that. So good shit, John and Jester. And if you can't tell, that motherfucker John's like a writer. That bitch is fucking linguistically gifted. It's a good ass scorecard. I dig it. So yeah, make sure, like Director Vale is telling you, study art of markets, right? It takes a lot to do this. Try to theme and be on the right side of it, and kind of make sure we give you the right amount of intel so you can act on this thing. It's a labor of love, but hopefully you guys appreciate what it takes to pull this shit off and keep it running at this level of accuracy for this sustained period of time. Invariably we will miss, and there will be things that we're off on, but we do our best to present enough information that we don't drive your sentiments in any direction. We give you objective information that you can sit there and you can parse over and make choices, with a greater level of detail. So we are at 8:46. So I got started like close to 8:30. I'm going to endeavor to get off actually early because the market is gapped down. I need to make proper preps for myself, and you guys need enough time to make proper preps if this thing is going to show signs of fucking possibly dropping any further the way the pre-market looks right now. So let us move over to do some macro and take some questions and try to get this thing wrapped up actually a little ahead of the time frames we've been running. All right, so macro things. All right, so this is our gappy chart we're using. This is a chart that doesn't have all the levels on it, but let us kind of watch this gap down to compare it to COVID. So we just go over that to give context where we're at. This was the projection of the current angle of attack of this particular trend up. And if it corrected, a rotation to possibly a lower angle that would still respect this cloud of shit volume. That's a key location right now for us to survive, right? Because this location, in case you don't remember, is actually the phantom zone, which was a key area for us to break down under Ragnarok and put in the lows of summer. So this is a very key transitional point. We end up back in here, we watch for big danger to come out to the downside or to hold and come back out up. But this is basically your line in the sand. Like if we go through this again, that's where you start to get really worried about major bear potentials. So for right now, this is a natural corrective structure against a good sentiment level at Nomics within range, still north of this and still on a rotation of this entire structure. So it's still, on this resolution, still bullish with just a new counter structure, and we needed it, right? We told you looking at this, right? You look at this, when I drew this bull flag, I'm like, this is a huge impulse and another huge impulse, right? You don't really want to buy on the top of impulses. You want a chance to catch a markup from the system. So we needed to do something to give us a fucking chance to make another plan around another reasonable system, not fucking at 5 seconds, right? So we need this. We need a flag up here. So that's what we're projecting, which would give us another fucking time correction to knock some of the people who are late out of the market and give us another chance at a rotation up if this is going to continue, or fucking to prepare ourselves in case this is going to rotate the next angle and fucking end up turning into a big ass bear flag out of the lows. Always prepared for whatever outcome. Regardless of what we said, you're always prepared for the possibility of A or B. And if you are mentally flexible that way, you'll never be surprised. Let me get a good color on this guy. Let's see. Let's do that. So yeah, we're still projecting a bull flag, and so he's within the confines of what we thought is possible. This is our little lower res bear flag, and he's rotated down in a gap. So we need to see if he fucks off or if he heads straight down towards to test this angle or this high. This is our really next major area of support that we give a shit about when we're looking from over here at this triple top, right? To right here, so it's like a box range right here that we're trading in right now. So I probably need to do something other than fucking white all the time. Let me whatever, you get the idea. All right, so that's what we're watching. We know we have a good level on top of this right now, and that's our first area of concern, and he's really trading within the range of this shit. So he's at least on top of this. He sustains it. We might have a chance of this thing still maintaining an uptrend, a low resolution uptrend that most people still don't believe is there. But for right now, in the short term, somebody believes it's there. And some sentiments we've seen slip in crypto Twitter that people are not looking for 40 to 50K again. So you need those latecomers who didn't know shit down here the fuck out. That's what bull flags do. All right, that's a long-winded explanation. So other things we're keeping track of, guys, that we thought were important to note, right? We had our that's a Trollx shockwave on angle where we flagged and died with the sentiments yesterday. Very important to watch, right? So are we rotating angles on this guy also? That's what we were going to keep track of, right? Don't just panic. This guy has been in a massive trend structure up. He needs to breathe on a different resolution. So this is possible, to do the same thing we just said in crypto and really just rotate trajectories down while still being overall an uptrend. So we need to give him some time to see what he evolves into. But it's not doing something out of what we expected. It's doing precisely what we said should happen at this point, which is counter structure time for risk assets. That being said, that would mean that USD.T would have been something that you had to keep on your radar, not that chart. Right? We talked about the DXY, and these guys give you appropriate locations to pay attention, right? We have our trend angle, Trollx, sentiment read, base of last major impulse to de-risk markets, and now we're at the trigger of the full fucking absolute apocalypse of fucking crypto. This is what we care about, right? We blew through this on fucking June 12th, and the market literally gets annihilated. So getting through this trigger again, big danger. Holding this bull flag that led to the high, big danger. We've double bottomed there. So what we ultimately would like to see is a lower high form here, and that would be even more bullish, right? If we could do this and then do that, we will get our complacency shoulder, right? Like that, and fucking the market. It doesn't have to go this amplitude. I'm just saying that this is a structure what you want to see, right? If the market top is really, the market bottom is really here in this climax point, we just need a lower high to allow us to go down, and this actually becomes the end of this down cycle. So this is healthy that we're having this right now, but it is structurally also in place to be unhealthy if it gets too much gas. So this is what we want to keep in perspective. So this is not like a scale projection. This is just to give you an idea of how to think about this. So Trollx shockwave right here, key location, big trigger, line in the sand. If we're gonna have a fucking gap down and recoil, or at least as far as crypto goes, this is a major level, right? It's a major explosive level, major flag for what we have as this pump. He goes back on top of this, you pay fucking attention, right? So we're going from Trollx to Trollx. So keep that in context. DXY things, DXY is going to match that, right? We told you DXY could rotate from here, hit the last trigger, hold structure, and become bullish, that's danger. And you become bullish, you're beginning to de-risk, and you can see it. So that's why we keep track of DXY, because he's going to have currency repatriate to the home currency away from risk assets. He's going to gain strength, and so the dollar tends to be strong when you de-risk. Ouch. So that's BTC. Did we talk about ETH? We talked about ETH. SPY, dollar, VIX. Did I do VIX? I didn't do VIX. So VIX is important, right? So what we just showed you in USD, USDT.D, and VIX, and the DXY, right? If those bull flags continue, shit gets bad real fucking fast. And we know that this is our line in the sand. This 21, you see it's fighting for its life under 21 right now. We come back up through that, things accelerate much faster. And the last bull flag that we care about between DXY, UST.D rotates, and this is the big danger, right? If he stays here and that correction is a little bit deeper, and then he just fucking maybe wicks 21 and comes back through it, bull game can still be on. So for right now, this is not the worst looking VIX to go with what we see in the pre-market. This kind of does look like rather controlled pullback, and not really fucking a flight, to safety. So this is worth keeping on, and always watch 21. You get above 21, you do not fucking ignore that. All right, so that's, I think that's everything we gave a shit about. All right, wow, I need a fucking drink. I'll figure it out. All right, where you guys at? Everybody get all that? That was a lot of stuff. I know I talk fast. Sorry about that. Catching up. I don't know what's happening to this fucking thing. It's stuck. Eli, you fucking rock, man. 369. If you only knew the magic of 369. It's actually a thing, man. Appreciate you, homie. Timely warning on the last stream. Hopefully it fucking saved you from fucking freight train, or at least let you preserve some of the money you guys made from the fucking lows. So good stuff. Like, this is, you have to be fucking like a surgeon to navigate fucking the pitfalls of the real market. It's a little easy to look back at markets in hindsight, be like, oh, I totally do this here, I totally do that there. But everyone has such a hard time at the front of the train, like discerning where things are going to go, because in this real-time moment, like where like price is forming, we're dealing with all the emotional tapestry that hasn't had time to be fully vetted or even lost. The mood that the media cooks up is lost to you. When you look back at a chart 3.5 years ago, you don't remember what they were telling people in that week, and so it's easy to fucking look at price and its raw mechanics, with no emotional fucking distortions. But in the real-time moment, the emotional distortions take that fucking seemingly like basic-ass looking thing and turn it into a fucking jigsaw puzzle. So, it's everything you can do to stay fucking like objective enough to not be sucked into the emotional fray that's being fucking spread between the sheep and become fucking part of that fucking cloud of shit, and instead of being a point in the system. Our goal is to sit and be objective inside of a fucking sea of ignorance and fucking read the tea leaves to fucking not stand in the way where the masses will be hit. It's a zero-sum thing, right? So we stay embedded in people to understand it. I'd like to hear about 369 one day. All right, you have to get inside my inner sanctums, and I'll teach you exactly how that applies in everything around you, plus markets. It'd blow your mind. Anyways, that's a whole nother convo. But yes, that shit's no joke. You should look into it. You should look more into where it came from, because it's not Nikola Tesla's idea, like most things. So that's good. Let's see what kind of symbolology y'all did today. Y'all be not putting up any symbols lately. FCG, TM, okay, not bad. Some cryptos, better than the last couple shows. Yeah, it's like 4 things and shit. That was the other thing. You can tell you guys when you're looking for any fucking thing, like literally just everyone's kind of like asleep. It's like, hey, we're here for the market stuff. Like, you want to look at anything? Nah, not really. I've heard about it from Tesla, right? Everyone's heard about it from Tesla, but a lot of Tesla's information came from somewhere else. And if you understand the footprint of that population's colonial tactics, it doesn't take long to figure out where. And once you figure out where, wow, things change a lot about the way you look at life. Anyways, that's about as far as I can get into that one. Our stream will get weird. It's hard enough to retain what few people pay attention to the amount of shit I put out in fucking 45 minutes an hour anyway. Let's see. So we're going to look at your symbols. You guys got FCG, TM, and AWK. FCG. So it's ETF for natural gas. Let's see where that is. You Web3 guys still alive in there? Some of you guys are.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's see. FCG. So don't I have a chart for this guy already? Fuck it, dude. Nope, I sure don't. All right, so natural gas. Talk about these guys. Talk about CL1 stuff like that. Like oil. Ooh, it's a good time to pull up oil. Interesting level I have there. Probably worth paying attention to. We're looking at like a major commodity cycle. If this stuff has legs to possibly keep going, and we have seen strength of some energy guys. I think I talked to you guys about that. Like paying attention to these dudes. Right, these guys have survived a major corrective structure and are showing decent relative strength. He's holding up right now, while oil has not been the best. FCG, and part of that energy basket, we're looking at Russia, and we know natural gas is going to be an issue come winter. He's got greater relative strength than even oil does. With a structure like that, right, and such a sharp correction, I talked about this a few times in past shows when assets do this, like the really, really wicked corrections, like BNB, USD. We talked about it here. Like when we have these like ridiculous pullbacks, you tend to oscillate in kind of narrow ranges. This isn't the chart I drew that on. I know I got on something. That's the OG chart for BNB. Where did I put it? I swear it was BNB. I drew it on one chart for it, but I can't remember which one I did it on. Damn it. Oh, all my Tesla old stuff's gone. Let me see. I want to find an example of it for you, but it's going to take me too long. All right, we'll just do it here. One thing you tend to see, like even in BTC, right, when you get like this insane, just like straight drop move like this, it's just super parabolic, and you get a really hard reaction. It's really uncommon for something like this to actually be able to go straight at the top. But what happens is in the speed of the drop and the speed of the fucking bounce, it generates a lot of emotions, and it doesn't give time to chill. It goes from one fucking extreme to the fucking next. This kind of move, if it goes all the way up and gets out the top, like 9 times out of 10, is going to do a 2B and fuck everybody up in there and come back and be part of a fucking like oscillation that eventually structures out and goes. So you want to kind of pay attention to this shit, like at the speed it's going. If he goes straight back into the top at this fucking speed, usually pretty fucking dangerous. And with something like that, if he actually pull it off, you let him structure outside and play whatever that was and stay away from the fucking like, first break that could suck you into a FOMO type buy. With something like this, you generally want to see him kind of do this and then just bleed off some energy and come to like a fucking conical shockwave structure, something like that. And then, if he's going to continue up, something like this out of there. That would be the safer thing, and then figure out how to deal with him as he goes through the highs. But if you get something where he goes out at like Mach fucking 5 like this, like, definitely caution. Right? That's danger. You want this thing up here if he's out the top. So if he, your ideal, like I said, your ideal situation with this is that he creates he creates an oscillation in here and like kind of just chills out over time and then sets a direction to leave. That's what you really want to see him do. This would be the best possible scenario to give him some time to bleed off some energy and chop around in this. Now we know we're going into fucking Christmas, which, into the winter time, which is where Putin should have an advantage and really actually fucking creating a problem with this. So can this maintain from here in August to getting all the way up here, say fucking at winter time? 100%, it could totally do it. So low resolutions within this oscillation, yeah, it's possible to play this just in a low res, keeping up with what he's doing here. So that's kind of a long-winded explanation, but that's the kind of risks that you have with this guy. So you'd probably be watching him, just like the low resolution stock market bounce, you'd be kind of dealing with this guy, like in the trend he's giving you at this resolution right now is probably your safest bet, right? And see if he really stays on this trajectory going into the cold season or not. he's corrected out of this and he's impulsing. So, you know, another major corrective structure could give you a chance to play into him on his way up to test this if he's really just going to keep on just, you know, V-bottoming right back up for a possible 2B challenge. All right, that was like the longest explanation of any fucking symbol in fucking history. You get it? I hope so. What's the next one? TM AWK LDO. TM Toyota Motor Company. So we have a fucking chart for him somewhere. Let's go find that. TM should be big resed over here. So this was TM on a projection for the Nikkei. We broke out. We had that sheet for you guys. We broke out. Leon apparently swing level down. This was a projection before we also had when he was in wedge shape up here. He did fucking pump it instantaneously and didn't sustain on top of the system, but he did get almost exactly as high as we projected, and then he's now pulled back. So in this pullback, you can leave that. He's done exactly what you should do there. This is a really steep dump, and we'd probably like to see it structure out into something, you know, this hasn't set a new low, so technically that's where you'd be looking. And if this is steep enough and over top of this system, right, this is bullish. This is a large system. If he sustains this, what looks like a crazy size bull flag, but it's not, it's just a perspective issue, right? This can be really bullish if he rotates back up, and I would use Leon as your trigger. This is going to be your money trigger inside this bull flags rotation. Yeah, so that's that guy, and that guy was, you know, side by side presented with Nikkei 225. And that's what we're keeping track of. So the Nikkei and Toyota, you know, have a good correlation. So this is the rotation actually already present through fucking Leon in the Nikkei. That makes Toyota a laggard. If we have the same sentiment location in the index and the asset, then Toyota is just weak in autos right now at this particular moment. So keeping in mind the index, if he continues above this and keeps rotating, there's a good chance TM rotates that flag too. AWK. That's not him. Let's see. I'm pretty sure AWK chart. AWK. There he is. So we talked about AWK before, and this is one of the many ones we talked about. All these guys having crazy lows at the same time, like this, like AMD and stuff, and Macy's, and all these guys were at crazy spots. AWK was one of those ones too, and we had shown you him also while things were fucking going to the floor. And he looks like a ginormous bull flag. He has a chance to rotate, and this is a good trigger zone. So he's rotated pretty good, pretty steep. Right now in this move, you want to pay attention if he's going to correct a little bit with the market, or, you know, just from the spot, and ultimately rotate and keep heading towards here. But that's ultimately what I think he's looking to do is, you know, probably do something here, and then you see whatever nonsense he does in this shit, and if he goes there, you know, you see whatever nonsense he does in this shit, and he can keep on going, right? I don't know why I don't have a fucking horizontal up there. That's kind of weird, but yeah, you know what I meant. That. So you want to see him above this as a system above the high. So. That's that guy. LDO. What is this? Leonardo. What do these guys do? Electronic Technology, Aerospace, and Defense. Okay, I have no idea what that guy is. Leonardo. LDO. Let's see, does he look like these guys? Not really. LDO. Wow. Internet bubble high guy. Man, I can't see shit. What we were waiting for, right? So let's take him, stick him on the left. Let's grab. Spot the difference. Here, I need more space. Okay. Yeah, he looks familiar, don't he? See it? That bull flag? First major fucking bull flag corrector structure test from the rotation. It's a little low, but it's about this guy. This guy rotates up, he has potential, right? And that guy looks a lot like, what do we have? XOP, these guys, and mega reses, right? These actually, he hasn't actually begun. So this guy's actually gone here. This is actually the first like rip, and you haven't really had a major corrective bull flag like this, but that's actually possible, right? So oil out of his big ass rotations just in the first real fucking like rip out of it, which you can see how that moves here. You can have a corrector structure and even put up another high possibly in oil, right? Before you challenge like your second local high, right? This guy. You can kind of see the similarities. Bull flag things, right? Everything's a fucking bull flag, bitch. If you didn't know, now you know. All right. What do we got next? I lost track of my list here. MRK NOC. MRK NOC. MRK NOC. MRK. Oh, cool. We've done this already. Cool. Medical stuff. Yeah, we talked about like a bunch of drug guys, the monkeypox thing. I think I had that convo like a couple weeks ago. You guys asked me about this one. You asked me likely in here because I wouldn't make a projection the price existed. So box range that he should go to and do goofy shit looks pretty good. And then we talked about Pfizer, I think, when we had that convo. Those guys look all interesting, right? And SIGA and monkeypox, right? So there's a lot of stuff medical and drugs and stuff that looks pretty interesting. Ooh, that's crazy. What a projection, huh? Didn't quite give the exact bull flag. It was microscopic, but good God. I know Berger played this. Awesome job on that. So Merck, yeah, I think this guy's worth paying attention to. Way too zoomed in there. But yeah, seeing how he resolves this right now. Generally speaking, like when you lean into like these regions like this, if you kind of get like an upward leaning structure like that, that's usually a little dangerous. You kind of get the price to possibly do something that makes people FOMO and then correct against them, fuck them, and then turn around and fucking leave them. So something like that's kind of possible. That's if you see something like that, that's healthier. That'll just dump bar everybody off the fucking high and really create some fucking salt to push his ass out. So, something like that's possible in the way he leaves. This is a projected bull flag. How he's going to do it now may be something like that. Merck and NOC. Northrop Grumman, I just pulled that up on accident with the other guy's aerospace thing, and that guy we talked about in the show, and you have a cheat sheet in OnlyFans with all these triggers on it that I tell you to watch because you're dealing with the Putin situation, fucking aerospace and defense. You always keep those guys on radar. It's a pretty easy play when you have it. You have geopolitical tensions, wartime stuff, and energy things are always kind of guys you should focus on. At least give them some attention. LMT, all these guys are in there. We showed you guys these before. They're down to some interesting areas. He's the weaker of the two. And of course you got RTX, he's also the same shit, right? So we showed you all of these guys were actually in some key spots too in bull flag structures. NOC is the strongest, best of breed of these guys. So with this crazy janky ass fucking system you see, right, we didn't get the exact top of it, but you want him clean clear of this and do something that stays clean and clear to show he's still maintaining strength on the leave and you're not buying into like a possible toppy situation. That was a lot of words. All right, next person. Matic, AAVE, USDT, LTC, USDT. Okay, I can finish those fast. What am I at? Time-wise, 9:10. I'm going to do the same shit. All right, no, I'm going to get done. Matic. So there's your Matic chart we made from forever ago. And we're dealing with this entire system right here. We want to see what he does. So this bull flag failed to resolve upwards. So what you can get right now is just a larger one, right? So it's still possible that your entire system is something contained within this. This is not a properly drawn bull flag. Just that this structure now is going to resolve far into something a little larger, and we'll have to keep track of what that is. So from the bottom of this, watching that, right, that's what's happening with everybody. He's not testing that angle. If he goes much deeper, then this level is the level you care about, and you see what you get. If you get a structure that resembles any kind of bull for another rotation up off of it, he could still be in the midst of rotating this guy. AAVE USDT. Not that chart. There he goes. Okay, so last time we were talking about this crazy thing, bear flag. Looks like he failed it. And this is the same pump that we have for all of crypto coming out of the lows. Remember, when you guys asked me last time, I told you watch this. This is the only place you have really decent interaction, and he did have it. But he's definitely one of the weaker looking guys in the bounce sale that's going on right now in crypto. But again, the correlation that is in crypto means that all these guys pretty much are doing exactly the same shit. So right now, draw respect our geometry on this guy. He's a little bit off the angle. Go back and check some of his crypto peers. Right, he's through the angle. Well, you know what? Let me draw this properly. Yeah, he's more than through the angle for BTC. No, he's not. All right, I got too much bullshit on this chart. That's my problem. What's the low on this guy? Low is 17,592. Okay, good. So that's the BTC's not there either. So AAVTC. So one thing, when I draw these kinds of drawings, I told you I'm not super precise. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of a location, but you do want to have proper geometry. I don't put the proper geometry a lot of times because it leaves it in your hands to go do it yourself. So you can be super precise, and it trains you to do it, not just watch my shit and be lazy. So as always with like the freehand stuff, you want to go dial in some precisions when it comes to geometry and angles. That's why with like longer term stuff, I don't freehand. I want to know exactly where the angle is and be precise about it. So with this guy right here, right, the real angle of attack isn't where I had it before, right? When you draw this trajectory, BTC's angle of attack is like a lot more gradual, so he's not actually there. And East, East has a much steeper angle of attack. He could dial down to something like this and be still fine with regard to BTC if they hold up right, fairly soon. So AAVE, is in the same boat and a lot weaker asset at that. What was the last one? LTCUSD. LTC is on this chart. No. This chart. All right, there's our macro LTC. Does that have anything on it? Nope. All right, so LTC right here, right? This is our big fractal. This is the OG one we used to call Litecoin Winter in 2017 and time that crash and time the bounce rotation out of that crash. And we use it again as a timing gauge for the trajectory of like riskier assets, LTC representing a layer 2 risk in the marketplace. I know we explained that to you guys real briefly. If I'm fast enough to pull this up, let's see if I can. LTC. Pop up first. God damn it, where are you? Okay, cool. Right. We explained this before, right? And as a second tier shitcoin, LTC captures layer 2 risk, confidence levels needed to take on ever increasing risk in a more speculative asset to chase greater expected returns above baseline risk, i.e. Bitcoin in this system. A behavior fractal in .com era, networking, Qualcomm, Litecoin, LTC Winter, right? So this was the basis of calling LTC using that same structure as layer 2 risk. I compared him to something that was layer 2 risk in the .com era, which was Qualcomm, right? Cisco was the standard. Qualcomm was like your layer 2 risk. So that was the behavioral fractal that was present that allowed this to work. In this situation, LTC still carries that exact sentiment. If you're fucking putting money into this thing, you are above the baseline risk of fucking crypto to even go near this fucking useless piece of shit. So I use it as a gauge of fucking behavioral sentiment, structure for the entire crypto cycle. And that's what we use here to time that July 11th timing, which turned out to be a really great fucking location. If you guys paid attention to this, that's July 11th, right? By using that fractal location, we're able to time basically the low of the entire thing using LTC again, and doing it publicly in front of everybody again, who's still loving to try and chase down our fractal concepts but don't really understand how to give fractal as their proper context. So not bad, not bad. So LTC at this current moment, we zoom in. He didn't make it to the target low for him as a system. And I thought that was interesting. Maybe he takes another shot. Now, this is that same bear flag with that low trajectory that everybody's doing, right? So he violated this angle, but he's still in his larger bull flag structure. So it doesn't mean he can't end up here. That's still possible. If we do think the market's bottom is in for like the summer, then he shouldn't. And a lot of these guys we're looking at look real scary down here are actually, still in uptrends, at least from their lows, right? If we draw him correctly and look at where LTC is, and he's definitely going to be usually weaker than many assets, that's really the true uptrend angle from the dead lows for LTC. He's also not really there yet. So you are looking at still a low resolution uptrend that you consider a bear flag for the macro, right? If he can correct again, this can keep on rising. So this is what you're inside of. All right, so that's it. Got all your stuff. What time is it? 9:17. Cool, 3 minutes in front of my goddamn deadline. Awesome. Did you guys get all that? That was a bunch of stuff. So shout out to our leader, Fractal Owl. Everybody throwing bits. Parzival, I'll say that properly. Eli, I appreciate everybody that fucking supports the show. I hope you guys get a lot of love out of this, because that's what I put into it, right? Energy. It's a lot of love that goes into making this. Even if you think I'm the most aggressive, mean asshole son of a bitch you ever met, I'm the most honest, mean asshole son of a bitch you ever met. So at least respect that. I don't bullshit you. I don't shill you shit. I don't sell you shit. I think that's disrespectful. So I fucking tell you like it is because that's what I want. That's why I think fucking is respect at all. I don't bullshit anybody, right? I don't have time for that shit. I could be dead in a car accident tomorrow. Who gives a fuck? At any rate, is Ivy? What's up?
Motherfuckers, the NFT.
The motherfucker NFT? Oh, I can find it. Let me see if I can get the stupid fucking oh shit, I didn't see that in there. Let me see if the stupid chart will load so I can get motherfuckers. This thing's fucking so touchy. Oh, you son of a bitch.
You jinxed the deadline.
I did. Fuck. Oh, nuts. And now I can't get into the stupid chart. 1 sec. Let me in. Okay, motherfuckers. I think they got it here. Is this it? I think I got it. Knew it. Fucking chart never loads. Okay, there it is. It's like, what the fuck? So, motherfuckers looks like everything in ETH prices that's going on in this cycle right now. As ETH actually surged in US dollars, it put pressure on ETH prices NFT. And so, along with like, a bear cycle still being present in some of these NFT assets, right? A lot of them are sitting in their low NFT prices. But remember I told you, like, you got to be careful, like, this kind of can throw people off because the rapid move that you had in NFTs, not NFTs, in ETH, kind of can mislead you a little bit. Let me go get another chart for motherfuckers. So this guy, all data for him. This is motherfuckers in terms of dollars, right? And ETH. So ETH itself is breaking lows on a lot of NFT projects because the ETH USD price is basically being repriced in terms of this. So they may be kind of static in USD, but getting dropped in fucking terms of ETH. And that's kind of what you're seeing, right? So this kind of looks like a dead, like, like accumulation. And in dollars, we do want to pay attention to that, right? This dollar base breaks, you have real fucking problems. So what you're looking at him right now is like, Babylon, the baseline 1500 in dollars while ETH bleeds. So with that said, we want to look at like ETH here. This motherfucker is not user friendly to drawing shit, but I'm gonna try it again, you motherfucker. So he's made a new low here. I mean, you just track this. It's ugly. It's definitely a bear cycle in ETH, and you need something meaningful for this guy to fucking like. God damn it! Let me draw, you son of a bitch. Right? You could consider this like any other like major cycle. They all kind of look like this right now, and it's still a kind of like an NFT winter out there in terms of ETH prices, but not dollar prices necessarily. Many of them have put in their dollar-based lows. So this is pretty much the best context I can give you to this guy in ETH terms. All right, so I fucked up the end of the show timing, but there you go. There's your NFT TA. So hopefully that helps you out, Andy, and everybody else that got your stuff in here. Great war stories today. It's Friday. Peep the way the market finishes today. If it finishes aggressively down, take that as a tone and sentiment for the weekend with crypto. Watch those uptrend angles on all of those things we looked at, from AAVT to BTC to ETH to LTC. Those are like going to have major confluence if they all impact those uptrends at the same time. So context things, right? Low resolution uptrend still is viable if those uptrend angles hold, but you are building a low macro structured bear flag. So keep pricing and it's a proper focus, right? So best of luck, everybody. Good luck, Web3. Appreciate you guys. Everybody,
Thanks for the show.
Everybody do some business show. You rock. Catch you guys on the flip. Peace out.
Later.
Welcome to WinternomicsTV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome